Chamber until I have a minister in the chair.
Get your act together. This is that.
You would have rang the bells at your day, Ross.
I would.
Ian Lees-Galloway has a call and he has 4 minutes remaining should he wish to take it.
I do wish to take it. Thank you, Mr Chair.
I call Ian Lees-Galloway.
Well, Mr Chair, it's nice that the Minister could amble his way down to the chair to join us for this debate. We're on Clause 1, the title of the Rugby World Cup 2011 Empowering Bill, which, before the dinner break, I was saying seems superficially like a fairly reasonable title for the bill. I note that the government steered away from using the word enabling instead of empowering, enabling bills, of course, being favoured amongst some of the 20th century's better dictators. That might have just alluded a little bit to some of the dictatorial powers that are included in Part 4 of this bill, so probably wise to steer away from it, although it would have been, I think, a sensible word to have included in there rather than empowering. Enabling might have been a bit more appropriate. Elected dictatorship would have been quite good. The Rugby World Cup 2011 elected dictatorship bill, because essentially what Part 4 of this bill does is offers a Minister of the Crown absolute, complete, total authority over what goes on around the World Cup, and all the provisions within the bill, the authority that's been set up, are just about completely meaningless because of the elected dictatorship that is established in Part 4. Another title could be Vesting Total Authority in One Minister Bill, which is essentially what this piece of legislation does. Establishing an impotent authority. The Rugby World Cup 2011 establishing an impotent authority bill, because the vast majority of the bill, parts 1, 2, 3, 5 and 6, deal with establishing an authority to deal with a range of aspects of the Rugby World Cup, from liquor licensing through to venue establishment, through to events that occur around the World Cup, and it establishes an authority which is supposed to have control over those events, to receive or to give authority to have liquor licences, to give people authority to hold those events, to run test events in the lead up to the World Cup. But in fact, all of that authority is completely undermined by Part 4. Actually what the bill does is establish a completely impotent authority, because in the case that the Minister disagrees with the authority's position, he can just come straight in and overrule anything that the authority does. So whilst the bulk of the bill, many clauses, many pages are turned over to establishing this authority, the real crux of the bill is Part 4, which says even though we've got an authority, it's completely impotent, it's completely useless in the event that the Minister disagrees with what that authority says. But I think probably, given the nature of the debate thus far from the government benches, few and far between as it has been, they haven't really looked to engage in the debate all that much. But what they have tried to do is try to position Labor. They've tried to say Labor hates rugby, that we don't want to have a good event, that we don't want to run a good event. I would say that would make this the Rugby World Cup 2011 short-term memory loss bill, because they forget that without the previous Labor government, without Helen Clark, who, as we all well know now, flew to Korea via Ireland. Who does that, I don't know, but that shows how keen she was, how much she had vested in being part of the delegation to the Rugby World Cup to make sure that New Zealand got the World Cup in 2011. The government has conveniently forgotten all of that effort that was put in by Labor and all of the support that Labor continues to offer for this bill, if they could have just made some tiny amendments to Part 4. We wanted to build a consensus. We wanted to be able to have a bilateral approach to this, but the government refused to take that up.
Mr. Chair.